James has put pen to paper and hearts are on to Rice as it looks like the best left back in Scotland has just agreed to join AEK Athens. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It's time for the Scottish Football Transfer Roundup, and Hearts' best player of last season looks like he's about to leave the club.
Absolute shocker, Uno, because the only person I thought to be leaving Scottish football for Athens was Dessers. So James Penrice has come out the blue. Is he Hearts' best player? Player of the season would likely confirm that. But the question is, he's probably the most sellable asset. So, you won't want to be hearing the words undisclosed, but I've got a feeling we're going to be hearing that. How much do you want for James Penrice, Jambo Bear? A lot of money? 3-4 mil? Is that... Can you get that?
I think at least two.
At least two.
But I don't care. I want to keep him. To me, it's disgusting that we sign Penrice and we get him like from Livingston, cheap, and after 1 year, after one good year, all of a sudden that's him gone. That to me, that's I just don't like it. It
was a good year, right? And this isn't really Penrice's fault, but Hearts did nothing with it. It was a waste of a year. It's almost like a waste of the guy's career.
Yeah,
and now this season, there's no European football. Now, yeah, Hearts could finish third or second, right? Who knows? Maybe win the league. Oh, Tony Bloom, baby. Or they could win a cup or two. But it's like, as good as he was last season, you're only as good as the team you're in. And the team he was in was shite.
Yeah, it's a shame he had a good season while Hearts had a bad one. Had he had a good season and matched a good season with Hearts, then who's to say that he couldn't have maybe lifted a cup or something like that? But no, his good season came when Hearts were in the bottom six, so it's just not really going to be remembered.
No, it's not. But I mean, Fabrizio Romano tweets, he normally gets it right. So I believe this is probably going to go through. He also got it right about Shankland. That was confirmed today on a 3-year deal. You happy about Shankland? 100% confirmation. No two ways about it.
I'm happy Shankland's agreed, but this is a downer. Let's put a downer on it.
It is a downer, and that pretty much wraps up Hearts. Not really doing much today, apart from taking all the thumbnails. But right, this needs address. So apparently Emmanuel Fernandez, who Rangers signed last night, is utter shite. People have been demanding that I check out this Peterborough podcast that have been bashing him, right? Now, I might do that, but it will have to be after this video. What do you make of Emmanuel Fernandez? Centre-back, 23-year-old from Peterborough, League One, 6'5". Rangers signed him, apparently. It's
never heard of him.
3.5 million.
It's a lot of money for a League One player, isn't it?
They're also signing a guy that got relegated for the Championship in the League One for 5 million, Rangers. But, 23-year-old Norwegian international.
A lot of players for England, isn't it?
It is a lot of players for England, and I'm beginning to think, it feels like? A wee bit of Mark Warburton about it, doesn't it? Championship.
A bit.
And, yeah, you have to judge them at the end of the season. It's alright for me to listen to some podcast. It's natural for fans of a club where a guy's left to like just bury the guy, especially if he did put in a couple of pish performances, but Rangers must see something in him, man. They wouldn't go and spend 3.5 million. Leeds have had nothing but praise for all their transfers, so I don't think the 49ers have just went on a complete mad one. So maybe there's method to their madness. But speaking of method, and speaking of madness, we've got Stuart Armstrong apparently going to Wrexham as the next free agent. So of course he's left Sheffield Wednesday. Wrexham did get promoted from League One to the Championship. Don't really know what is left for Stuart Armstrong as a player. Is he going to have a couple of seasons, maybe 2 seasons at Wrexham and come back up to Scotland potentially? But I do believe his international duty, his international career's over, isn't it? There's no way back for Stuart Armstrong, I don't think so.
He's done. He's getting older now anyway. He needs to call it a day.
Absolutely. And also today, 16.5 million for Nicholas Kuhn. I said that it potentially leaves Celtic weak in the wide positions, and some people weren't having it. Some people are saying I was bitter. Is that bitter, or is that facts?
It's facts. Jota he won't be back until about Christmas, so you're without him. Yang has never proven himself to be good enough. Palma, who I think will come back on loan, could leave the club. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. James Forrest is just a sentimental player at the end of the day. Yeah, the guy's got that goal scoring record. And, I mean, he has, so I feel like James Forrest, he gets judged. It's like, if if someone else that wasn't called James Forrest played to his level, they'd get lambasted. But because he's Forrest, they almost like just allow him to be shite. Forrest hasn't been good for a number of years now. Is what it is. He's a bit part player. Yeah, maybe you don't mind him sitting on the bench and getting his 1 goal a year to add to his record, but no Celtic fan wants him to be a starting player in the big games. People don't want Forrest starting against Rangers. People don't want Forrest starting in the Champions League games. They just don't. So yeah, I mean, I look at the wide areas. They are light. We don't. Benjamin Nygren could be great, but we don't know. It remains to be seen. So yeah, as things stand right now, Jota out. It looks like the wide player. Does Dyson Maeda play it wide, or is he up front? We don't really know. Let's assume he's up front. Leaves Celtic with what? Palma, who's pish. Forrest, who's done. Yang, who's never shown anything.
What about Marco Tilio? What about him? You rate him?
No, we've not seen anything from him either, so.
What about Celtic then? Say they sell Kuhn. Are we seeing what they did last year? With the O'Reilly money, are they going to spend it? Or is there a wee problem called Champions League qualification and no guarantee this season?
I mean, that's the one fit. Celtic last couple of seasons have had the Champions League guaranteed. This season they don't, so that could be a factor. It could be they have to wait until the Champions League playoffs are decided, the qualifiers decide it, until they spend the money.
Problem is, though,
if you leave it that late...
But if they've got a war chest, right, is this not the time to speculate, to accumulate?
Well, they did that last year and it didn't work, so...
It didn't work for them, right, folks? But you know what? See, at the end of the day, they've got the money in the bank. Every second comment on this channel is about a war chest. So you know what? You need to spend like you've got a war chest then. In case you don't get into the Champions League. Because there's a real possibility you don't. 2 legs. And if there's one thing Celtic have been shite, if there's one of the few things that Celtic have been shite at over the past couple of decades, it's European knockouts, isn't it?
I think you back yourself. You spend and then you can put the money. You know what I mean? You can put the money back once you qualify for the Champions League. You got to back yourself that you're going to qualify. I don't like this logic. Oh, we'll wait and see if we qualify first, then we'll spend the money. How about you spend the money to qualify? If you spend the money first, it should make it easier to qualify, and then you can put the money back once you get it for the Champions League. I can go back into your quote unquote war chest. If you're waiting on qualifying first, then it's going to be harder because you're not going to go into those qualifiers with the players for transfers.
And targets might move on. You know, it's not like the Champions League playoff rounds.
Plus, the longer you leave it, the more expensive transfers get. So,
speaking of transfers, Aberdeen have signed Iceland youth midfielder Kartin Mar Gjordsson from Starsnen in his homeland for an undisclosed fee amid significant interest from some big clubs. There's that big word in there, undisclosed. I hate that. I absolutely hate undisclosed fee. I think it actually should be mandatory that every fee gets disclosed.
Agreed.
I just don't see the fucking benefit. What? No, honestly, who benefits from it being an undisclosed fee? It's not like...
I guess the clubs can kind of benefit because then they can maybe get away with fans that are saying you haven't spent enough or whatnot because...
We don't know.
We don't know that.
Yeah, it could have cost 50 million, but it might have cost 1. But no, but do you not think this is actually something you associate more with like the lesser leagues undisclosed fees?
Right.
It's like see when Neymar went to PSG, or when Mbappe went to Real Madrid, or like Haaland goes to Man City and moves like that. They're not undisclosed fees, are they? They're big bucks put on the table. But he's 18-year-old. Jimmy Thielen says for a player still so young, he has played an impressive volume of minutes for the first team and the Icelandic Youth International squad. So he thinks he's going to be a good player, does Jimmy Thielen. But that is it on this Thursday, 3rd of July. Up next, tomorrow, 4th of July, Independence Day. Who's going to make some more signings? Who are Hearts looking at? Hit me with it. Who are you wanting?
I just want Penrice not to go.
But it looks like he's away. A deal's been agreed. And is James Penrice going to turn down a move to Greece? For Hearts? No European football? Is Tony Bloom going to sit him down and say...
Probably not, but it's disappointing when you really bring in a good player and you only get 1 season at them and the season's a failure. Like,
same with Gamani.
Yeah, but you guys seem to have this fucking weird mentality. We'll take the money. I don't want the money. I don't care if Hearts get offered 5 million. Hearts are stronger with Penrice in the team, therefore I don't want him to go. It's as simple as that. I want Hearts to build a good team, and I think Penrice should be a part of it.
No, he should be a part of it.
I couldn't really care about the financial aspect aside. Oh, what do I care? Oh, they're going to receive money that's going to go into someone's pockets who's richer than I am. I couldn't care about that. I want my best players to remain at the club.
Here, Hearts are a majority owned by the fans. Are you one of those fans?
I ain't going to see shit for the Penrice transfer, that's for sure. So,
do any of the fans see shit for the James Penrice transfer?
No.
Tony Bloom might though. Anyway, folks, that's where we're going to leave it wrapped up there. We are edging closer to the start of the season. Rate your excitement out of 10, big man.
About a 2.
What?
Aye.
Why a 2?
Just no feeling it.
No feeling what?
Alright then, a 5.
Oh, hold on. It's a new era at Hearts.
Well, I'm waiting
a fucking 2 out of 10? Is James Penrice that good?
I'm not happy about it.
Aye, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about your fucking performance. Step up to task or get off the fog hype train. Because a fucking 2 out of 10 is disgusting. That's rank rotten.